Welcome to the Write Your Own Story podcast. I'm your host, Betsy Leonidas, and the founder of the Write Your Own Story company. Girl, I can tell you right now, you are definitely enough. Here we value service, sisterhood, connection, laughter, and that super genuine, keep it real, tell you like it is honesty. My hope is at the end of each episode, you realize you can do whatever it is you dream about and that you are not alone with what you struggle with. I'm hoping that you are snapping and clapping and hell yes in your way through each one of these episodes. So if this tracks with you, let's get started. I'm so glad you're here. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the latest episode of the Write Your Own Story podcast. I am your host, Betsy Leonidas, and I'm so pumped to be here with Nat Jones. Nat, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, girl.
Those from Cincinnati know Nat from Q102.
Mm-hmm.
She has also just started a new venture with 2 new shows, which we will get into, but it is just like, I love your energy. We've been hanging out in the kitchen over a cup of coffee. I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep you forever.
Yeah. Same. I was like, hey, bestie.
I know. Hey, bestie, what are we doing? What are we doing tomorrow? But I love this so much. Your story and why I wanted to have you on the show is like, you've done such a cool career and you were so bold and brave in your decisions. And I feel like the show is all about featuring really cool women being brave enough to write their own rules. And that is, cool. I feel like exactly what you do. So
Thank you. It's an honor to be here under that veil. That's so cool.
I'm so glad you feel that way. But I mean, this is all you're doing, girl.
Yeah. Wow. I think I don't know. To me,
Gotcha.
There's only ever, if I don't enjoy what I'm doing, then like, I'm just not going to do it. I don't know how people live life other than that.
Well, I think they live life buried under thousands of levels of shoulds from society and have forgotten to feel.
So
I can certainly say that I got myself to that point. But like what I love, I want to open this episode with like the concept of like, have you ever just like woken up and looked around and you're like, I worked so hard to build this life and it just doesn't fit anymore?
Yes.
100%. I can also totally relate.
Yes.
And it is terrifying, overwhelming, empowering, exciting. It's like
No, I mean, no, I woke up one day and thought that and was devastated and shamed myself a lot. And obviously I worked through it, but my initial reaction was, fuck. Whoa, what do I do now? And I was just like, I don't like any of this. And then on top of it, because for me, it wasn't that I had a bunch of kids and was married and felt stuck in a life like that. It was like, I didn't even have any kids. So I was like, I did all of this. I'm mad. I live this independent life that everybody thinks is so great, but I don't even like it. Yeah. And I was like, and I don't even have kids to show for it.
Yeah.
Like,
you're like, where's all my treasures?
What am I doing? But I will say, but it was super, that was the day that like something flipped and I was like, no, dude, I have got to change this.
I love that. And we're going to get more into that. And I think the other thing that I think is so badass, which I'm like, cliffhanger, we're also going to get into this, is that like you leapt and left your position without something else lined up.
Yeah.
Which I think is got to be so empowering and so terrifying all at the same time. So for all the women out there who are listening, who have either walked a similar path and just want to feel seen, or who are sitting in the, oh fuck, now what? Like this episode is for you.
Yes. 100%.
Let's do it. Okay. So, but I also love your backstory. So you were a comedian?
Yeah. That's how I started my career in my 20s. So I feel like I'm a decade behind everybody is what I always say.
Eye on your own paper, girl.
I know. But when I graduated college, not till I was 24, I graduated, and I was president of the speech and debate team in college. I talk about this all the time. Okay. So I know it was a long time ago, but I still am like, it's my favorite thing I've ever done in my life. And I wanted to go into like politics. I was studying marketing. I didn't really know, but I always knew deep in my heart that like going to college for me wasn't because I needed to get a traditional education. Like I knew, and I paid for school on my own. Wow. And I always knew, like, which pretty much just means I'm in debt, but like pretty much, but I always knew like, no, dude, this is like, I don't need this for what I'm going to do. Like, I just always solidly knew that, but I still knew also that I couldn't live with myself knowing that I didn't graduate college. So I have to do this in order for my soul.
Yeah.
And that reasoning right there is how I've always lived my life. So call it love, call it fear. They always say decisions are made of love or fear, but I always knew like, no, I have to do this for me. Like I have to do this or else like I won't be able to sit okay with myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So anyway, I started doing, so I graduated college, and me and my best friend at the time started our own business.
Cool.
You know, what exactly is it? Was it? Well, I don't really know, but my uncle was a lawyer and he did our LLC for us for free. And we did all this stuff. We thought it was so cool. And then we would make a list of things to challenge each other to do in order to build strength and character.
Wow.
So we would dare each other to do things.
That's
essentially
incredible.
It was really cool.
Like streak across the lawn, or like
no.
go cold call somebody.
Like go cold call someone, or like you for dance on a stage and just stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he said stand-up comedy, Natalie, you have to do stand-up, and I signed you up. You're doing stand-up next Wednesday. Here you go. And I comedy was not on my radar. I grew up with funny brothers and stuff,
totally.
But I
character.
never thought that was going to be a part of my life. And I did it. I was terrified. I had diarrhea for 2 weeks before, or however long.
Totally.
And I did it, and I was really good at it. And it was like a perfect fit. I remember I got on stage and just felt at home, terrified, but yet at home. Like, oh yeah. Like immediately I was like, oh, this is it.
That's so cool.
And I did well. And then I continued to do it. And then comedy kind of sent me on, was kind of the underlying path of every other job I've had to do along the way, was to pursue entertainment.
That's incredible. I think that like one thing, just be like, to pull out a nugget that I think is so important for women to hear is like, if you had not had diarrhea for 2 weeks and still been brave enough to go get on stage, you never would have found something that felt like home.
Yeah.
So there are so many things that we're all so scared of.
Yes.
And to be brave enough to push through and try it anyway, know that you'll be fine no matter what. And then it could be something that turns out to be like home.
Yeah.
That is then the trajectory for the rest of your career.
Yes.
Not only is that like your North Star to be like, that feeling is what I'm searching for in everything I do, but also like, I love to entertain. This is like intrinsic to who I am. Now I have some direction. Like,
yes, it was really cool. It really was life-changing. And I remember even sending my friend a text message at one point that said like, come see me at comedy, or we're at this club at this night. Like, I think I found my thing. I even said to her, like, this feels like home. Like I found my thing. And yeah. And I pretty much have been on a quest to do that. I mean, not really, because I don't do stand-up anymore, but that's what started all of this.
Were you like, okay, so you were one of five, you had all these brothers. Were you like the funny one, or were they always the funny one?
They were
like,
always the funny one.
Were you the one like making home videos with the VCR? Not to date us, but
yeah, I was with friends, but it wasn't ever my idea. Yeah. I was always a part of it, but I was never the one leading any of it. I was never the one who thought that I was as funny as anyone else.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
I was just there. My brothers were really funny, and I would say funny things that made people laugh, but so did everyone.
Yeah, totally. It's not like, oh, that girl's definitely going to be on stage.
No, not at all. And if anything, one of my besties all through college she was the funny one.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just kind of her sidekick, but she was hilarious and still is the funniest, most brilliant woman I've ever met.
Yeah.
But I was always just like, and I willingly, and like, she still to this day believe like, you're way funnier and talented and smarter than I am. I'm just here.
Oh my God.
So when I did it on my own, it was like, oh, I do have something to offer. It was cool.
That is super, super cool. Okay. So like I would also have diarrhea for 2 weeks leading up to that, hands down.
Oh, it was terrifying.
And then like that, I've done like a lot of public speaking for like my corporate jobs and things like that. And like you feel, and I've like officiated a wedding, and you feel like you're literally just about to pass out. And it took me getting the reps in of being like, actually I didn't pass out. So now when I feel like I'm going to pass out, I'd be like, I can be like, I'm okay. Do you have moments like that where you're like, I'm absolutely going to panic? Like
every single time. Still to this day, every single time. Every single time I get on stage for anything, every single time I press play to DJ gig, every single time, no matter how many people are there or what it's for. Yes. And even in my career in radio, it took me 5 years before I wasn't every time we just press play in the studio when like there's nobody there.
I know. I get
and it's
it.
Every time. So yeah. And now I still get nervous and I feed off the energy, but like I just know that like that is part of it.
Totally.
And
is there anything for you that helps calm your nerves? Like now that you know that you're ready to expect them? Like for me, and this probably should be something I should reflect on. It's like being wildly over prepared.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, that's also like, I'm a recovering perfectionist still. But I'm like, ooh, maybe I should think about that a little bit longer. But for people who are like so afraid to do something and they let those icky feelings keep them from doing something, like, do you have any good tricks to just, how do you keep going?
In general, I do a lot of, you have to go through it no matter what, you have to go through it. So my process is I also become way over prepared.
Yeah. Okay.
And I have to do hot yoga.
Oh, I love that.
Like usually before I record anything, I have to do hot yoga that morning. So if I don't go every day anyway, then I have to, or else I'm just a different person.
Yeah.
And there's a certain point of preparedness and just, you have to say, fuck it.
I love that.
You have to. There's no other way, especially if you're starting. And what I always tell myself is, especially now in my job, because it's different every day, is you can fuck up something once and say you're sorry and be like, I honestly didn't know. Yeah. So, give yourself the grace at least that like the first time you're going to mess it up, and like, that's okay.
Yes.
And like, seriously, go into it. Like if I go into anything ever for the first time and I've never done it before, I always tell myself like, this is just throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Yep. Right. Let me set the bar pretty low, especially if you're used to being naturally talented at everything, like to still give yourself room to be new at something.
Yeah. And like, whether that's good advice or not, have high standards for yourself, but you just have to do it. Yeah. And like, for me, I have to tell myself, dude, if you mess it up, like, that's okay. But like, you have to do it anyway.
I do feel like, because everyone's lives are so out loud now, that there is this, I mean, on one side of the coin, it's like everything is so curated online and whatever. But on the others, like, I've started doing, like, especially for like public speaking or something, I'll be like, I'm nervous. And it just like cuts the tension like that.
I will say that. So with public speaking, I actually gave this advice to somebody recently. She was just about to get on stage and she was like, Nat, I don't know what to do. And I said, go out there and let the first thing you say, happy to be here. I'm also super nervous. So the same exact thing. Yeah. And if I am, I say the same thing. And that's what a professional told me that when we were going on stage for an event that I planned.
Right? This is what we do to ourselves.
And he was like, just go up there and say you're nervous and it's fine.
Yeah. And did it all work out?
It did. We actually, that night specifically, we sold out, we set records, and it became a recurring thing for like 12 years.
So. I'm obsessed. Yeah. There was this, I'm like a very visual person, and there was this image that came across my Instagram feed. So AKA from the Bible.
Amen.
Amen. And it was like two targets. And one had all these arrows in it and one was completely blank. And under the one with all the arrows in it, that none of them were on the bullseye, but it was full of arrows, it said, this is not failure. And then the blank target was like, this is failure. Basically be like, you fail if you don't try. Yeah. That's the only way you can fail.
And as cliche as it sounds, all cliches exist because they're true. And everyone who gets on the other side of it all says the same thing.
Totally.
So truly, I think you get to a certain point where you can't, I do at least, where I can't live with myself knowing like, okay, you're making your own excuses now, or you have no one else to fault but yourself. And you got to take responsibility for that. And you're like, all right, you can't, you got to do the thing.
Yeah. You just got to do the thing. But man, making excuses could be an Olympic sport for us women. And overthinking. I'm like, watch.
Hold on. I want to say this might be whatever. Women might not want to hear this, but what I'm sick in the woman and in the women to woman conversation is stop blaming everything on your hormones and your cycle. Ooh. Yes, it does affect everything, but also ladies, you got to do it. Like, I can't tell you how many times I have conversations with women and they're like, well, I'm in my luteal phase, or I'm in this phase. And I'm like, I understand that. But I do think that there's a certain point where we've gotten away from, if you signed up for this thing, you still got to do it.
Yep.
If you're choosing to do it, you still got to do it. It doesn't matter what else is going on. Right. Stop. It doesn't matter what's going on.
I have not heard people blame it as much, but I totally get that. The sun still comes up and still comes down no matter what phase you're in. Yeah. Get out there, girls. Do it.
Yes.
I like that.
I'd say that in perimenopause now, because this is where we are in life.
Oh my God.
Which all those, I think both of those things are true at the same time.
Yes.
But it's like, but you still got to do it.
Right. Who cares if you can't remember what you were just talking about because you have intense brain fog? You still have to keep going. Yeah. The mic is on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you got to keep going.
And I think like doing, and any performer will say this, and I don't perform every day anymore, but if you have to, again, cliche as it sounds, when you're used to having to do something every day and you're just like, the show must go on.
Yeah.
It just makes you like tougher in that way.
Totally.
They're like, it doesn't matter. No one cares.
Yeah.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. I think women all like, we were talking about this before. We're like, we're just like so good at life.
God, sometimes we are so good at life.
We're so good at it. Yes. Sometimes we forget how tough we are. Mm-hmm. And like, as I was saying, like, I'm actually a little tired of being so tough, but like, there's plenty of ways to do it. But yes, but I've taken us on a whole tangent, but I there were so many good nuggets in there. Okay. So you're doing stand up, and that's not in town, right?
No, I mean, I did start in Cincinnati, but I've lived in North Carolina, South Carolina, California, and Colorado. Oh, wow. So I did do stand up in all of those things. But I must say, I have to, it was never this is what I'm doing. Yeah. Like my only vision. I always have had 4 jobs. Now I only have 2. Yeah. But I always had 4 and had to do 1,000 different things to pay the bills. Yeah. And then there were some months, maybe a year. I remember I went over a year once without getting on stage, and then came back and was like, oh yeah, duh, I'm missing this. I still had a radio show, but hadn't been getting on stage, and I kind of followed it, but also it wasn't like I'm going to become a professional comedian. It was, how do I do the thing that I like? And I went and discovered a lot along the way. Yeah, for sure. So then what brought you back to Cincinnati? My mother got sick. I'm sorry. So yeah, my mother's family has a long-term terminal disease. It's called, she has ataxia, and it affects her body similar to ALS, but just incredibly slower. Oh my gosh. So she started showing symptoms, and she's the 4th in her family to have it. So I grew up around this, and all my aunts and uncles were in wheelchairs with slurred speech and couldn't, feed themselves and everything my whole life. So I was like, oh, Mom is going to do this. And at the time I was living in California, in LA, and my older brother had just had his 4th baby. Yeah. And living in Cincinnati. My sister was she is not involved in our lives. Yeah. My other brother didn't live in town here in Cincinnati. My other brother was living in Seattle, and he was never coming home. I knew that. And then the other one was still in high school. And I was like, and then there's just me, an able-bodied grown woman who doesn't have all these connections, who's just free as a bird. Yeah. So I was like, I got to go home and help this. Everyone else is that. I don't think there are any options. And I didn't want my mom to be alone. Yeah. It was also heartbreaking. Men are the worst. The last man she was dating, she wasn't married to him, broke up with her when it became official. The doctor was like, you have this, here are these are things that need to happen, because it shows up later in life. It's kind of like a lottery. It's like, you don't know if you're going to get it until you're like 52. Oh my God. You can't do like genetic testing to see if you have it? You can now, but if you do, it's a whole other thing. Yeah, then you won't get insurance. It's like America sucks. So it sucks. Yeah, right. But so this man broke up with her. And so I was just like, I felt so much compassion for her. And I was like, he literally said to her, I can't imagine pushing you in a wheelchair. We're done. And she was like, my God. Yeah. So I came home, and talk about following your path. It was the hardest decision I've ever made. Yeah. Well, it was, but it wasn't. Similar to the one I just made. I knew I was doing the right thing. Yeah. And I knew that because I was in alignment, and I felt called to do it, and that everything within my body felt so at peace with it, I knew that everything would be okay. And I moved home, and within 6 weeks I was on the Q102, and they asked me to work for them. Like, they came to me. Okay. And I had like no radio experience. I love this. I love this because I was, one of the questions I wanted to ask you is like, as these opportunities end up in your life, is it because you're like hitting the pavement and looking for things, or is it because you're like open and in alignment and they come to you? Open and alignment and they come to me. And I do also work my ass off, but I must say I prioritize alignment more than anything. And I always have. I love that. God, that hot yoga is really working. It really is. And I'm like, I love it also. I'm like, why don't I go every day? So I definitely started doing hot yoga after I discovered, like alignment and meditation. I remember I read Thich Nhat Hanh when I was 21. I went and I lived on this beach by myself. And I mean, I went with other strangers that I didn't know anyone, but I was essentially by myself, and I was barefoot for a summer, and it was just so great. But that summer really leaned into meditate. I'd done like yoga classes and meditation stuff, but I really leaned into it and learned all about Buddhism, and I got really, really into it. And then I just like stuck with that forever. Totally. Meditation has completely changed my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God.
That's incredible. And I think that that is a tough one for men and women to learn, because we have been conditioned to like push and try harder. And if it's not working, push even harder without ever stopping to check in and be like,
That's, well, I can say though, I have to be, I am naturally a pusher who's going to force try to force anything to make it work.
Yeah.
So I have to intentionally like, okay. And then I'll find myself spilling over, or, it's always a conscious effort for me to stay in alignment and all that stuff. So.
I'm so glad you said that. I think that's the other thing is people are like, I'm just not that way. It's like, it's a very conscious effort to be that way. And I find I go 1,000 miles a minute, like just how I'm born. And so meditation like makes me slow up enough that I actually can put some space in between my thoughts.
Yeah.
And then actually hear what is true and what is not, or feel what is true and what is not, versus it's not like, sometimes I get like these downloads, which are like really incredible, but a lot of times I don't. But I'm like, oh my God, I can actually just put some space in my thoughts and settle down from this like buzzy orbit.
Yes.
And be like, what is true? Yeah.
Yes.
I just wind myself in all sorts of different directions.
Me too. Yes. We're very similar in that way.
Okay. So can we talk about like, what is it like to work in radio? Like, so you land this radio gig, and are you put on a show with other people? Are you like,
no. So when I first started, I was on the night show by myself.
Oh, cool.
And I had no idea what I was doing, and I was completely terrified. And I just remember my very first show. And of course, I made it a huge deal to everyone. I posted it on social media. And the cool thing about it is I came from living in a small town in Colorado where everyone knew each other, and everybody is so supportive of each other. So I really had 2,000 people behind me, just like, go home, Nat, take care of your mom. We'll see you soon. We love you. You're a comedian. Like, you're great. We love you. So I had all of the, like, seriously, and I still am so close to all those people. And so I had so many people watching and listening from all over the world and all over the country. And I was like, it was the worst show ever. Of course I messed up. I forgot the phone number. I forgot so many things, but I did it. And I posted about it, and I still was just like, we did it.
I did it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And like, no one knows. I mean, it was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Cause I mentioned earlier that I was doing radio. So when I lived in this really small mountain town in Colorado, with a population of 2,000 people, I did have a volunteer radio show from 6 to 9 a.m. every other Friday. And over 5 or 6 years, and I can say I probably did it like 6 times. I always forgot about it. I always slept through it. I was partying all the time too. So some days that I did it was because I was still awake from the night before. Like, I can't say that I had any real experience. I mean, broadcasting and radio was never something that I wanted to do, but I just love music.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay. So you land there, like, what would people like, what is behind the scenes of radio? What would they never guess is true? Like, is it like late night talk shows where they're all wearing their slippers or news anchors where they're wearing their slippers and their sweats, but they've got a suit on top? Or like,
yes,
tell me
sure.
What kind of secret sauce?
I will say we don't pick, like, we're not like the playlist of the songs. We're not playing them individually as you go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, which is different from when I had the radio show when I was younger, and I was like, I'll just call it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was like, I picked every song and I told jokes in between each song.
Oh
and
God,
it was
that must have been a dream.
it was so much fun.
Yeah, that must have been a dream.
The mornings that I did do it, like it was
6 mornings
it was
that
awesome.
you did.
It was awesome. But so we write out, I will say, I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah.
Because I personally don't like BTS stuff behind the scenes, because I like to be surprised, and I love the magic of entertainment still.
I do too.
So I'm like, I don't want to ruin this for anyone, but I will say I would write out the whole show of ideas that I wanted to have, but also you got to leave room for magic as well.
Totally.
So I would like think of like jokes and funny things or funny topics along the way. I approached every show like a comedy bit. So I would like find, my goal every day was to find flow and then write within the show. Like I just wrote it as a comedy bit every day.
Yeah.
And then magic happened along the way. Then there was like songs along the way.
I love that. Like, I feel like that is a great way to live life too, is to like every day, like give yourself a loose outline and just leave some room for the magic along the way.
Yeah. I was really lucky that I got to do that.
It's incredible.
But I must say, like, the hours are not, they're not really compatible with anybody else's. There was no money in it.
Dang.
Dating became tough because I'm like, I don't get off work till 7 and I don't get paid till 20 days from now. Right. So you're gonna have to pay for everything.
Everything you buying? Thank you.
Like, I made more money bartending in college, but I was just blissfully happy.
Oh God. See, that's hard to trade.
It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
And so then, like, within Q102, they just kind of like bounced you around to a couple of different shows and productions.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. So I was in there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I always envied like the morning show. Because I'm like, for the 8 years that I was there, y'all did the same thing every day. I was on 5 different shows.
Yeah.
So I was on the night show. Then I got promoted to the afternoon show with John. And then I was on air by myself during COVID. And then they brought on Freddie Mac. Then it was me and Freddie. And then it was me, Freddie, and Roy at the end. So then that's like 5 different shows. Because once you add a person or drop a person, you have to create a whole new dynamic within it.
For sure.
As well.
Yeah.
Which is all just managing people and egos, which we all know is the worst.
Especially with men.
Oh, girl. Don't even.
I went there.
I only worked with men.
I wasn't going to say it.
I'm not going to say anymore.
Yeah, we'll just let everyone.
We all know.
Right.
We all know exactly what. I mean, it was exactly how you would think.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And I said that with love and respect for everyone in the room. Like, totally. I'm still friends with all those people.
Especially someone with brothers. I was such a tomboy growing up. Male friendships are some of my all-time favorite, and it gets complicated as an adult because I don't know, all of a sudden it's just complicated. But I think working with men is so fun. And then also you're like, oh my God, can you stop? And we'll just leave it at that.
Yes. I think it's also hard being an alpha female that I don't even know. I never considered myself that until like my boss said it to me one day, like when I was like 36, and I was like, oh, I guess so. I feel like that has a hard dynamic when you work with other alpha males, and that naturally between any two personalities is going to create difficulties. And, so.
Okay. So you're there for 8 years and you're like, this is magic. I'm loving it. I'm sure there's plenty of, as any job, there are like bumps and all the things, but hold
on. I will say this though,
tell me.
Because I do love, like in the beginning, I would do the same yoga class every Saturday and do like my meditation and my gratitude. And I would call my boss crying all the time to be like, I'm just so grateful for this. Like, I thought I was coming home and giving up my dreams and taking care of my mom. And I'm just like here doing it. And like looking back on that, I'm like, oh, Nat, that was so kind. I was not kind to myself about it then, but 32-year-old Natalie needs to hear that kindness now. So
I love that.
Yeah.
What a great pause. Actually, that was one of the things that I was going to ask you. When you are like going on your first stand-up stage and then you look at where you are now, like would this first stand-up stage ever guess that this was the twists and turns that life would take? And what would you say to her?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I would say, girls, just keep going. Be as, you can be as loud, as feminine, and as masculine as you want at all times. Don't change yourself to fit in to anyone else. I feel like I did that forever.
Did everyone please just write that down? Hit the 10-second back, 10-second back, and just write it down. Let's all go get matching tattoos.
Yes.
Right now.
And once again, it's like the same thing everyone always says. I'm like, it's so true, especially as women. Like when I first started in comedy, I wouldn't ever wear makeup or look pretty. And I would wear backwards hats on purpose and like look really masculine because I thought that would make me funnier. And now I'm like, dude, I want to wear stilettos. I want to put my wig on. I'm like, I want to do all this stuff. But I really thought that that's what I had to do to be funny because I mean, that's just what I thought at the time. And I strayed away from my femininity for so long because I thought I had to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of women lose their way with their femininity and like that softness, especially if you're a working woman, just because you're like, I got to toughen up. Like, going into the corporate world, I was like, I can't look too hot. Like, because then
because men,
right? Because I won't be taken seriously.
Yeah. I struggle with that a lot too, just being taken seriously in general. A lot of my content is really silly and goofy, and I am really ADHD, and as everybody is, and like really flighty, and can be like, oh my God, I totally forgot. But I also like I'm not.
I also feel like that's part of being feminine. It's like goofy and silly and funny and creative.
I know, but I feel like it doesn't always garner the respect that we all wish it did. You know,
that's like a whole systemic issue.
I know.
Right? Next episode. But yes, 100%. Okay, so you're at Q102. You're doing the thing. You're loving the thing. What are you starting to get like the quiet whisper to be like, I think, how did you, because again, back to the top of the show, when we're like, you have worked so hard and you've built this incredible life, and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, something's got to change.
I went into radio knowing that like I'm an entertainer, not a radio professional. Like that was where my heart came at it.
Yeah.
And I always just thought that I went into it like I always do. I was like, I'm just going to stay in alignment. I'm going to stay working so hard. Another opportunity will come. That's what happens. It will happen to me. It's going to happen. Another opportunity will come. And then the longer that we get here, because I always thought that I'd move back out west. I was like, I'm a California, Colorado girl. That's where my people are. And I always thought I'd move back. But, you know, my mom's still alive. My dad has since passed, but my mom's still alive. So she ain't dying anytime soon. Y'all know that battle axe. She's just getting tougher. Anyway, so I said that because age starts knocking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shoot, I'm 37. My dad died when I was 37. And he died like literally in my arms.
Oh my gosh.
And he was my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
And a week before my dad died, I had a miscarriage.
Oh my gosh.
And so all of that that changed everything.
100%.
And then it took me 3 years, 2.5 years. That was January. I turned 38 that summer. And then, I guess it took like 3 years. And then by 40, I was gone. But kind of that happened, and you go through the grief. And then once I started to get my head out of that, I was like, okay, something has to change. This is no longer fulfilling me. Certain things just make me mad all the time. Like I wasn't happy in it anymore.
Yeah.
And at first I did not accept it. And I thought that it was just me, that I was wrong, and that I just first tried to be perfect and blamed everything on myself. Then I blamed everyone around me. And then I finally was like, this just isn't working anymore. Like, your time is up. Yeah. I think I had done everything I wanted to do within it. And I felt really proud of everything that I'd done and accomplished, and realized that like it was time to go. Yeah. So I made that happen.
That's incredible. And then you didn't necessarily have anything lined up, right?
No. So how it all happened. So like on my 40th birthday, my birthday was just 2 days ago now.
I know. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I'm 41 now, but on my 40th birthday, I threw a party, and my friend, said so, like, of course I tried to DJ my own party and people wouldn't let me, but we all work on microphones within my people. So there was a microphone there and everything. So my friend gives a speech. All these very nice things. She gives me a hug, and she whispers in my ear, "You have to quit your job now." And I looked at her and I was like, "You mother of a son of a." Yes. And I was like, because I knew she was right. Yeah. So then like I made a speech. I stood on a table and I made a speech. And just as I was standing there, I was just like, yo, this is not, like, everyone here looks so happy and I'm so miserable inside, and no one knows, because I've had so many pink cocktails that no one knows. But really in that moment, I was like, I am so miserable. And everyone is here celebrating me, saying all these nice things. I couldn't receive any of the love I was getting. And I was overwhelmed with it all. Like strangers from the internet, like that I didn't know, brought me gifts, and I didn't know their names. Yeah. And it was like, oh my God, people said the nicest things. And in my mind at the time, I was like, I hate myself. I don't deserve any of this. What is going on? I felt so distant from what was happening around me. Yeah. And that was the moment I was like, I told my friend the next day, like, I want a whole new life. And she goes, okay, well, that's not going to happen.
She's like, that's not what I meant. But
and I was kind of like, watch me.
Yeah.
And so I did. I moved. That was in July. By October, I had moved. I had a new place to live, lost 20 pounds, got a new job, quit my job, and stopped people pleasing, stopped seeing the man I was, I was like, no, F all of this.
How do you know? And I'm like legitimately asking, because I'm also like a big change. Like, I feel like there are moments in life where you want to blow everything up and change everything. And then there are moments where you're like, I just need a new chapter. I just need to turn the page. How do you know? So for the woman who's like, I feel like I've got the wrong shoe on the wrong foot. Okay. Something about this life that I've built, like no longer serves me or something feels off. How do you know when it's time to blow it up or when it's time to just like write a new chapter?
You get really quiet with yourself. You get really honest with yourself and you realize, is this your ego? Is it your cycle? Or is this really your gut? And I think it's really easy for all of us to get lost in all of that. And so take time, get really quiet with yourself, take time and get really, really honest. And in that honesty, it's a safe place because if you realize all these things about yourself that you've been hiding forever, you don't have to tell everybody. Yeah. It's just within you. Yeah. You are your own safe space, as a friend recently said to me.
That's beautiful.
Yes. Lolly Macadamous just said that to me. And it's so beautiful. And that's exactly what you don't have to tell anyone. And you don't have to be some boss babe about it. And you don't have to be super anything about it. You can just know it within yourself and make decisions from there.
Yeah.
And that is it. You don't owe anybody freaking anything. You just owe it to yourself to give yourself the life that you know you deserve. And at the bottom of it, that's it. And if you know that the path that you're on is not your path, you can change it and you can change it silently and you can change it one penny at a time. I always say it's like filling up an empty swimming pool with pennies, like you can do it but eventually you'll get there. And just to keep going and just like have that like within yourself of like, okay, I'm going to do this thing and just have no expectations of how it's going to get done.
Yeah. Right. That's the hardest part, is to have the faith that you're like, I know something needs to change. I know how I want to feel. I don't feel any of that right now. So I'm going to make changes. But then it's like, oh God, what is the actual decision? Like, what is the next right move?
I think what I've always done.
Yeah.
And this is just within me. Everyone is different. When you get really quiet, I trust myself that it always comes to you. Yeah. And I think that's how it is with everyone.
I do too.
So I say like, get quiet. It'll come. Your body knows, your mind and your soul knows. Just get really quiet and let it happen. And that's easier said than done, but it will 100% of the time it will happen. And if you're having trouble making that decision or making that plan, do it so much that the same thing keeps popping up. Yes. It took me 2 years to leave radio before I actually did. I knew I needed to, but I had to be so sure. Yeah. And I took it to the very end. Like my cup runneth over with frustration and hating my life and myself. Yep. Cause I was and by the time I left, I was so sure, and I have never missed it for one breath.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Not
that was going to
breath.
be one of my questions, to be like, if anyone offered you your job back, would you take it? Or
hell no, absolutely not.
Yeah. The chapter's done.
Not even close.
Yeah.
No way. And I don't know if I was clear on that.
That was very clear.
Okay.
What I took away from that was that when you're like, oh my God, something feels off, but you are so caught up in all the off feelings, it kind of feels like you're drowning. I feel like you're just or you're like lost in a twister or something. And then to your point, if you slow up and you really continue to listen to yourself or ask those questions of yourself in like a very slow, quiet way, you will continue to get the same answers. Yes. And so it becomes to a point where you can't ignore it.
Yeah.
It's not even like a scream. It's like a knowing. You're just like, oh no, literally, like we got to go.
Yes, we have to do this.
Change. So many women feel stuck, overwhelmed, whether life is just feeling like a dumpster fire at the moment, or you're just feeling off, there is an ability to feel better. So what I've done is I've taken all that I've learned in the Jay Shetty coaching and all of my conversations with these incredible women, and I have come up with a Feel Better Sprint. I'm offering it to everybody free. It is included in this Now What program that I am building for what do you do when you want to write the next chapter in your life. You all of a sudden realize, oh my God, my life does not look how I wanted it to look. I want to turn the page and write the next chapter. Within that is a ton of bonus content, one of which is this 30-day Feel Better Sprint. But I really, truly believe in tomorrow you can feel better. And truly, if you practice this for 7 days, you've got the key to take it with you. Go check it out. We will link it in the show notes. It's called the Feel Better Sprint, and it is so easy. It takes 5 to 15 minutes, however long you want to work on it, every morning with a cup of coffee. If you miss a morning, so be it. If you miss a night, so be it. We got to let go of perfection. We got to commit to a feeling. We have to measure our progress. We have to be intentional and build it into the tiny moments for the day so that we can stack those tiny moments to build the muscle of feeling the way you want to feel. And I'm telling you, at the end of 7 days, you're going to feel better. And I want more than anything for women to feel better. This method has made me the happiest and most peaceful version of myself, even when life lights itself on fire. I'm able to handle it with so much more grace and so much more confidence because I'm so committed to showing up each day intentionally for how I want to feel.
And then the more you ignore, then just the more miserable you're going to get. And then if you're like me, then you like rage. Drink too much or you
totally,
rage. Like
same.
I definitely masked it in so many different ways, like going out or over, you get to be, I overworked myself.
Well, you just like chase a good feeling from somewhere else because you can't get it where your life is. I totally get that. But I think that that's incredible advice for women. It's like, you
always know.
You always know, but you have to be active in the sense of creating that slow, quiet space for yourself. Like, because those are hard to find in today's lifestyle.
They are. Yes. And again, with that, like you don't have to, like I say that in the first step of this is a hard, like the first step to do from that is not to go to Amazon and buy a new yoga outfit and a new yoga mat. And, no, not at all. The first step is to take one deep breath.
Oh, I love that.
That is it. Just one deep breath and then start there. And then tomorrow take 2.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I love that. When can we buy the cute outfit though?
I know. But I feel like that's what we always
Sorry, I don't mean to negate your beautiful moment. I was like, but you said new yoga clothes?
Right. If you're going to get a set, okay? Because everyone feels prettier when they're wearing a set, when they're working out.
I was like, do my hair on a set. But you're absolutely right. Like just to be able to slow down in life is the greatest gift, which always feels impossible with endless to-do lists and all the responsibilities. But like you literally can't hear yourself unless you slow down. Okay, so you resign, you take the leap, you don't have anything lined up. Now what? Because I think so many people are like, yes, I've got a plan, I'm doing the thing, but now you jump into the messy middle.
I know. Hold on. This is where I'm going to cry because the very next day I got my job now. The very next day, before everyone even knew that I was quitting, I had already quit internally. I'd already done the thing.
Yeah.
And the very next day I got a text message from my nail boss that was like, we're ready to do this. You let us let's do lunch. We're ready to make a plan.
Oh my God.
The very next day.
That's insane. See, you don't have to seek these things out. They come to you.
When you get it like in alignment, it just happens. Like it is so true. The things and like the manifesting, all this stuff in my mind, it's like, it's always true when you do get aligned, like it all does fall into place. And I'm just so grateful to be where I am now and that it all happened. It was just so great.
That is literally incredible. Okay. So now we knew the feeling that you were feeling towards the end of the last gig. How does it feel to be in this current space?
I feel the youngest. I feel irresponsibly young.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I feel the youngest I've ever felt. I feel the happiest. I feel wise. I feel like a woman. I haven't felt like a woman in a really long time.
I love that.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It is.
And is it, this is, I think, an important distinction. Do you feel like it's because of what you do or because of who you are?
I think it's because of what I do.
Yeah.
And I think that what you do and the habits you make every day is all leads up to who you are, all totally. Like in that. And hold on, say it again. I feel lost.
Well, because it's like, if you feel so happy now, is it just because of the new job or is it because you've put yourself in alignment? You have this job.
Okay. Yeah. Cause I put myself in alignment and I did the scariest thing. So quitting my job, we haven't even touched on, like, I thought that it was, am I making the biggest mistake of my life? Because now I am doing what I love, but like, it's not, I didn't sign a contract, a multi-million-dollar contract. I wasn't like crazy discovered. It was like a friend of mine who has capital who's like, we're starting this thing. And he just said, you need the freedom to do whatever you want to do. And I want to let you run with it, which is like all that I wanted. I'm like, what I'm doing now is what I've always wanted. And I hope it grows and builds into something.
For sure.
But it wasn't like HBO came knocking, was like, here you go, baby. Here's a show. And now you're pregnant and now you're in love. And like, you know what I mean?
Check, check, check.
But it was like the scariest thing because I thought, just leaving radio became my identity. I got this job as soon as I moved home, is all I've known all my 30s.
Yeah. Right.
Like, this is all I know.
Which is such a formative decade, especially professionally.
Yes.
But I think that is so important for people to like pull out and extrapolate, is that you were so in alignment when you made your decision. You're moving in the right direction and you know it. But there's still very real moments where you're like, oh my God, did I just make the biggest mistake of my life?
100%.
Like, change is so hard.
Yes.
Change is so scary. And like you said, when you were just getting into new things, you were like, and I'm going to suck at it because it's new. And to like give yourself the room to be so messy when you've been so great at something for so long, like that's got to feel like a mind blow where you're like, wait a minute, I'm so good at this and I'm in alignment, but this still feels absolutely terrifying. How do you trust yourself to keep going?
You just do. You just do it. You just do.
For sure.
And to be honest, I've done it so many times now. Like, I got in alignment when I moved home, 8 years ago or 9 years ago, and I came home without anything lined up and I was on the radio immediately. And then like so many things along the way, so I was like, I just have to trust. You just got to trust.
Yeah.
Because when you get right there with yourself, that that you're always going to make the right decision.
Yeah.
Or like whatever's supposed to happen is going to happen. And like, you're going to figure it out along the way.
Yeah. There are doors like that you just can't even see yet, that are just going to open for you. On the flip side, I have learned to love closed doors, which are heartbreaking and like devastating and all the things at the time. But from my life experience for the past 5 years, what I have learned, if a door closes, no matter how bad you want it to be open, trust that it closed for a very real reason.
Yes.
When my marriage door slammed shut, I was like, that was devastating. And I have never been happier and never felt more peaceful.
Good for you.
I was like, I didn't know I could feel this way.
Wow.
I did not know.
Ooh, so I love that.
Thank you, universe, for being like, whoosh.
Yeah.
And hopefully he is happier and all the things. He's the father of my children, all the things.
Yeah.
But like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Right. And when you were going through it, like, did it suck?
It sucked.
Yeah.
For 2 years, I ran on sheer adrenaline. And for the weekends that my kids were at their dad's house, I cried all day, every day. There's so much grief in divorce. Yeah. A life that you were building with someone is all gone. How you are as a parent, the access that you have to your children, the love, no matter if it was dwindling or not, that was still in your heart. There's so much loss in divorce. But on the flip side, I have literally never felt happier or more peaceful or more authentic or more in my own skin and more free and more safe. Safe is one I always have to still work on.
Yeah.
But like, I never would have felt this way if the door hadn't closed. And I'm sure he's had a similar experience. Like, so long story long, because it's the only kind of story I know how to tell is real long ones.
I think you're so real about it.
I was like, let's take an ADHD. Buckle in. We've got my ADHD on. It's like, if that door, no matter how painful it was, hadn't closed, and like, thank God it did. And I just have to trust the process. And I'm so grateful for it.
Yes.
Even on the hard days when he's making memories with my children and I'm not there, and that is heartbreaking, I still trust that door closed for a very real reason.
And how do you think you got there? If you weren't, that was a process to land.
Yeah. Yeah. It like a bajillion hours of therapy, sitting and being really quiet with myself to even notice the fact that I feel more peaceful, that I feel safer, and that I feel freer and exponentially happier. Because there were many great years in my marriage. It wasn't like a whole dumpster fire, like by all means. So,
4 kids,
right? Right. I always tell my kids, I was like, I would marry him over and over again if I got the 4 of you, without a doubt. Yeah. But I guess it just took time too, if I really had to think about it, to be able to like, one, stop kind of like living in a survival mode and doing the healing, and then being able to like pause and quiet and slow down and look around a little and be like, oh my, I feel like I can take a huge deep breath. And I'm like, God, that feels good.
I think, have you ever gotten to yourself? I can say there definitely have been times over the past year and a half where from the time I decided, all right, you have to quit your job, you have to do this, to actually doing it. And now where I am now, where like, there were definitely moments where I lost hope.
Oh,
and I think that that's going to happen along the way. And I had to, as much as I lost it, somehow just trust that like, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it'll come back. It'll come back. I've definitely had moments where I'm like asking the universe, like, you've given me so much. Are you going to do it again? I feel like I've used all of my tries. I don't deserve another one. I don't even know what to do anymore. You know, like, please, I'm so God. I don't know. Cause you're just, because I was terrified, but still doing it anyway.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. I totally get that, where you're like, wait, I've had so many chances. I've had so many good things. Like, do I still get to do more? Do I still get to be more? But like, I would hope so. Like, a life has got many pages and chapters. And to your point, like, I like that idea of like, because hope dwindles for everyone. And, you know, it's never an all day feeling. It's never an everyday feeling, unfortunately. But like, I think that's the other thing that I found in my divorce was like more faith. I'm like a very spiritual person now. Like, I'm a very universe girl.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. It's really, really, really great to be here.
It really is.
Because otherwise I thought I had to do everything myself and push and push and push. And I will never stop being a hard worker. That is something that I genuinely enjoy. It's intrinsic to who I am, but there is something so liberating about being like, you know, when it's time to take your hands off the wheel and be like, I've done all I can, and to have some faith.
Oh, that's when the magic happens.
Totally.
See, I think like, it sounds like what you're doing, like similarly, if you can relate.
Yeah.
I like to be over prepared so that I can relax and let the magic just happen.
Yes.
You know,
it's my favorite.
Yes.
I used to joke that I would like walk into corporate meetings with like a wheelbarrow full of preparation, like coming through like in like Macy's production office, like
completely unnecessary. You're like, you don't understand.
You don't understand. I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then I would never reference it.
Yeah.
Because I was fully prepared to just let the magic
But
happen.
it made you confident.
Totally. I was so confident. I was like, actually, that is not the case, because chapter 32 in my wheelbarrow. Yes. I didn't have to reference it because I could just kind of let it flow and let the magic happen.
There you go.
I like it. But then there also is like a moment where I've had to learn of like, maybe I don't need a wheelbarrow. Maybe I need to calm down.
You're wasting time.
Right. So like, what is the level of preparation? It ebbs and flows. You just got to go with it.
Right.
I do notice when I get to that like exhausted level where I'm like hyper fixating on something and I've depleted all of my energy, I was like, this is your time to stop.
Yeah.
Because don't you think, let's get woo-woo. Okay. Don't you think like where the magic happens is where like, is when the energy is flowing. And when you can't tap into your energy because you've pushed way too hard, that you've exhausted yourself, like you don't get any magic from that.
No, you don't. And for me, my body will shut down.
Yeah.
I'll say I go through cycles of sick, like getting like sick. I feel like I get sick more than the normal person because I push myself to a level, which is like where I tried. It's always a balance, you know, it's always a balance. Like for instance, my birthday was the other day, but I woke up, I worked all day on my birthday and I exercised a lot for work. And I also like did a podcast and did all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went out for my birthday dinner and I laid down, I set my alarm for 12 minutes of like, just lay down and rest your eyes, try to get in a deep meditative state for 12 minutes and then get up and get ready to go to dinner. And I fell asleep into a deep sleep for 12 minutes, woke up, took a shower, put on no makeup, and then went out to dinner, was asleep by 10 p.m., woke up the next day and felt like I got hit by a bus. And I was like, okay. I took it. Right. I took it. I did it. All right. Yeah. Now you know.
Yep. Now, and sometimes we just don't know until all of a sudden we're like under the bus. We're like, oh, yep. Okay.
Been here before. Okay.
Been here before.
Right. It's my first time with this new employer where I got here. So I had to just like, I'm like, I think I'm getting sick, but I keep an extra antibiotics on the thing. Yeah. And I was like, I know exactly what's happening. I'll be fine by tomorrow. I just need to work from home today. And I'm telling you, I was so productive. I stayed on my couch all day long, but I still did all this stuff.
Got it done. That's one of my favorite things about working from home. I will literally tuck myself back in bed. I love bed so much. And I'll be like, and it's just like, you feel like you're getting away with something because you're like, I'm in my jammies.
Yeah. My cat's sitting on me and I'm like, this is great.
This is the best. Okay. I love this. Well, that makes me so happy to know that like you took the terrifying leap in that you have been like, oh my God, have I made the greatest mistake?
Yeah.
Oh my God, sometimes I'm losing hope. And you still can look around and be like, I'm the happiest I've ever been.
100%. And And I will even say this, as it was happening and unfolding, there were certain things that I put out into the universe that I wanted to happen during my transition that were like, ooh, this is a shooting star, but I'm going to put it out there. And even all of those things happened. Do it.
What are your thoughts on timing for those things that you put out there? How do you let go of the timing part? That's the hardest part for me for manifesting.
I'm still working on that.
I'm like, I would like that tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that.
I know. In my head, I'm like, I didn't say tomorrow.
I think you truly have to believe, as I do, and truly, and I feel so great to be back in this space. I felt like I had abandoned this whole mentality for a while, trying to force myself to be happy at the end of radio. But I believe that like it will come when it's ready, when it's time, when you're ready. Yeah. Like I'm learning so much in this new experience that it's making me be the woman I've always wanted to be. And I really am learning it. And every day I'm like, man, I've always wanted this. Oh my God. Okay. Well, now you just got to do it. You just got to do it today. And I will say I did make a promise to myself to start this new chapter in an intentional way that I've always wanted to do and be. And I have. And it just was really scary, but like there was something inside of me not doing it was scarier. Yeah. So
that is okay. That's such a good distinction for people. It's like, is the leap scary or staying scary? And for you, it sounded like the scariest part would be staying where you were.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Because that means life is dead. That's nothing. You're just existing. And when you're just existing, you know that you're not good for anyone else. You're not the best mother, wife, community member,
friend.
Yeah. And anything.
Truly. I totally agree. Or one last question I have before I want to kind of do some like fun questions and then wrap. But is there anything either to be so brave to be able to make this change or to navigate the messy middle of like finding and landing in this beautiful spot? Is there anything that you sort of like had been waiting for permission that you needed to let go of? Like, I feel like so often women feel like they need permission to take the leap, or they need permission to be happy, or they need permission to be loud or anything. Are there sort of those like societal shoulds and permissions that you have had to just like push to the wayside?
Yeah. And I definitely, my personal life, getting married and having a bunch of kids. I guess I always thought that would happen, but it hasn't yet. Yeah. But like the timeline on that. And also I was living in LA. I thought I'd become this huge famous comedian or a famous actor or something like that, and like I had to give up that I'm going to move back there and that the life in Cincinnati for now is the one to be like, this is it, and it has been very freeing to be like, oh, those little girl dreams have changed and I'm finally okay with it.
Ooh, I like that a lot. I think that, do you find yourself able to tap into the little girl?
Yeah. Okay. To be honest, my show now is all about me writing down little girl dreams, things I've always wanted to do. Ooh. And then I do them.
Oh my gosh.
That's exactly what it is.
That sounds so fun.
Okay. And they're all silly things, but things that I've always wanted to do.
Silly.
Like I just went bungee jumping, and we went bungee jumping where they went bungee jumping on MTV Sports in like 1992.
Oh my God.
And I went there and I did it. That's incredible. I've always wanted to do it.
Did it hurt your back as much as I think it's going to hurt?
No, it doesn't. But I will say, at my age, I wouldn't recommend it. If you're in your 40s and you think you still want to do it, my personal recommendation is like, it's not. I mean, whatever.
The ship has sailed.
Yeah, it definitely was like not.
You're like, ow.
Yeah.
Totally.
Also, just on my birthday, I always said, and I still believe now, that if I wouldn't have gone into entertainment, my dream job would have been to be a professional athlete.
Cool.
Because I just like love sports and exercising and training, and I've always wanted a professional training team. And I just, so I was trained like a professional boxer, and boxing would be the one I'd always chose. Like I would have been a professional female boxer. Those didn't exist when I was a kid, but I always like wanted to be a boxer. And then I got in like a real boxing ring with like real boxers. And at the end, they even said, they asked me on camera, were your dreams lit up or crushed? And I was like, absolutely crushed. I'm so glad this didn't happen. I actually don't want to do this at all.
You're like, this is the universe literally being, this is why we didn't do this one, girl.
But it was cool. I always wanted to do it.
Oh my God. Did you get punched?
Yes.
Does that hurt as bad as I think it does?
I mean, no. Okay. Cause this man literally punched me in the nose. He punched me in my jaw. He punched me in the face. And I was like, oh my God.
I would have been like, bro.
Right. At first I was truly like my feelings were hurt.
Right.
And then, but then I was like, dude, make my nose bleed. Do it. And he was like, okay, no. He's like, cause I could break your nose. I'm like, do it. Yeah. But like just little things like that now. So it's been really cool. I feel like it's really more therapy for me than anything. So
I think that's incredible. Isn't that cool? Like I feel this way with the show all the time. I'm like, wait, is this real? Like, I mean, is this hard? Yes. Like, is it, like growth, all the businessy stuff? Of course it's hard. I also find it really fascinating and fun, but like the actual conversations, like this hour right now, I'm like, is this real? Like, this is so fun.
I know.
How am I so lucky that I get to do this every week? How fun is it that you get to go live out all your childhood? I wonder if this would be fun.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
It is pretty cool. And also like, so when I started in radio, I always wanted to be on TV more than radio. And then now essentially I am a one with a camera follows me around. I'm doing my life. So like that in itself on whatever scope it's on is like a dream come true for me.
See, like for the woman who is literally like, I am stuck in the wrong room with the wrong shoe on the wrong foot. Like on the other side is like genuine pinch me moments where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe this dream really came true for me.
Yeah, it really did. And just know that you deserve it.
Oh,
you 100% deserve it.
I love that.
You deserve it. That's all you need to know.
I think, please, everyone, rewind. Listen. Do we say rewind still? I don't know. One of my kids used to say fast backwards. I'm like, I will never correct you. Please don't ever say it.
Fast back
to you deserve it.
Yeah.
Right?
You do.
We get put in this sort of like martyr position where it's like women are so built on suffering and sacrifice.
Yes.
And like there is a certain matter of suffering and sacrifice across the board to being community, but like, oh my God, you also deserve the other side of the spectrum to be happy.
I can say I honestly didn't think that I did. And now I'm here and I do. And I did. And it's great. And it's so freeing. It just feels so right. I have no ego about it. It just feels so like, oh yeah, duh. Okay, this is what I was made to do. I'm doing it. All right.
When your ego creeps in, how do you know it's your ego and how do you put it aside?
I feel like ego is anger.
Ooh, I like that distinction.
Ego is anger and bitchiness. And y'all know when you're just mad and being,
I can feel it.
Yes, you know?
Yeah.
And then the rest is when you can feel it in your bones and it's disappointment and it's sadness. And it hurts you more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so on the show, we're all about writing our own rules, right? Yes. What is a chapter of your life that you're the most proud that you had the courage to write?
Oh, you know, I mean, I can say the one I'm in now.
I know, right? That's a tough question because there's so many good chapters.
I could say to the last, I mean, I'm so proud of myself for moving back to Cincinnati and for creating the radio life that I did with my mom and taking care of my parents the way that I did.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. I have great relationships with them. And, you know, I said it about my dad when he died and I think it about my mom right now. If they died right now with my mom, I'd be like, I said and did all the things.
Yeah.
I would be sad, but no regrets at all.
That's a great barometer.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. When did you feel like you stopped living by someone else's definition of success?
Oh boy. Right now. Honestly.
Yeah.
I still struggle with that.
Totally. Same.
Yeah.
There is, I'm like, a lot of the answers I get to that and a lot of the observations, like, cause I also treat this show, like I'm just like a huge nerd. So also treat the show as like a long-term research study where I'm just like clocking all these patterns.
That. It's beautiful.
It's like, it gives me more energy than I should admit. But like, there's something magical about your 40s where like other people's metrics don't matter anymore. Or we're starting to at least peel it away.
I think just now I'm finally comfortable. So as much as you know me from radio, right? And didn't I seem like the happiest person and just doing this stuff? But like, I always knew that it wasn't the right path for me. I knew that it was good at the time. It's going to lead me to the next. But like, I always felt less than, and maybe just my whole life I have, and I don't anymore. And now I'm like really, really grasping who I am and being proud of it. I've been speaking to make yourself proud, for years and years and years. And that's huge. But just right now, I feel like I'm really living in it, and I'm proud to release all the content that I'm releasing, and like to do my life and to say what I do, and just to wear the clothes that I do. And you know what I mean? As you get older, as they say, as my mom always said, like, it only gets better.
Yeah.
It only gets better. Yeah. And like, you just age. I mean, and I always say you might drop the fucks as you go.
Mm-hmm. Totally. I think it's incredible, honestly. Mm-hmm. My mom always said 40s was her favorite.
So did my mom.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to compare notes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Finish this sentence. I'm so glad I had the courage to
listen to myself.
Woo! Damn. So good, right? To learn the skills to be quiet enough to listen to yourself. I think really, truly, like, the key to happiness, and this sounds so cliche, is to truly just be yourself.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us realize how exhausting it is, or even that we're doing it, that we're putting on a little mask or a mirror or shape-shifting or people pleasing or whatever.
Oh yeah. Recovering people pleaser over here for sure.
Right?
I feel like.
But we do it. I was doing it in a way to feel safe, because I was like, if everybody likes me and I'm making everybody happy, then I'm safe.
Yeah, for sure.
And now I'm like, wait, but I like, quote unquote, I'm safe, but I feel like shit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I mean, yes, I don't think I realized how bad I felt. I just thought that was life.
Totally. You actually can be really happy.
Yeah.
One of the things I've done in my life, and this is like, I'm building this new program called Now What, that is like all for these moments of when you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I need to turn the page, or life doesn't look as. The thing that has made me the happiest is again, going back to like what metrics and whatever, I assign my day to a feeling.
Oh, okay.
So for example, today I was like, this has been my word recently. So, and it applies again today. I was like, I want to feel confident today. So I'm like, okay. And I want to feel joy today. So I'm like, then I get super intentional. I like look at my calendar for the day, and I'm like, how can I feel confident here? How can I feel joy here? And then it's my responsibility, even when life lifes. I'm like, okay, that sucked, but how can I find my joy? How can I feel confident in how I handled that situation? Nothing has to do with how many things did I get done on my to-do list. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do the damn to-do list, or at least try and like, and screw it up. But like, I put my head on my pillow every day. And then as I'm like so sleepy, falling asleep, I'm like, how'd I do? And it's not what I get done. What did I crush? Like, not did I crush this interview? Did I feel confident? And did I love connecting with you today? Did I feel joy? And that makes me like legitimately smile, as cheesy as it sounds, going to bed. I'm like, I did it. And like, to know that you have the power to control how you feel, even when life is lifing, like, that's like, all this magic keeps happening. And I'm like, this is so cool. I no longer care what my title is, or like this and that, like, all the things that I used to care about so much, like what my salary, I'm like, that stuff will all sort itself out.
Yeah.
If I can keep showing up and like genuinely being such like a happy person because I did the thing I wanted to do today, like, all is well.
Oh, that's powerful.
Thank you. It has truly changed my life.
I'm listening to you, but I'm also trying to like write it down and send it to you. Okay.
Yes, right. It'll be in the show notes. This has been an absolute blast.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so cool.
Oh, I'm so grateful. And like, truly, we're friends forever now.
Yay.
I mean it. Okay. So if everyone wants to see all this cool new content that you're putting out, all the new stuff, where can we find you?
All right. Start at Nat Jones Cincy on YouTube, and then my link tree on my Instagram, which is also Nat Jones Cincy. So I have 2 social media wavelengths. Just, type in Nat Jones Cincy on any media platform, or Nat Jones on any media platform. Both will show up. My name and face are all over all this stuff.
Yeah.
So my name is on all the shows. So there's Nat Tries That, and then the Nat Jones Show, which is the podcast.
I love it. You have given the most incredible energy. You are like this awesome mix of like calm and wise and energetic and big and everything in between. And so I feel like people, right. And I think people deserve and want more of that in their life. So you guys definitely go check it out. I'm sure you're all already there because you're killing it. But
thanks, girl. Thank you so much for having me. This is really cool. It feels really good to step into this chapter of my life and to confidently say these things, where, you know what, I'm talking in circles now. When I was a kid and when I was in college and people would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? Before the whole comedy thing, I said, I really want to be a motivational speaker, but I'm white and I'm from the suburbs and I go to Catholic school. Like, what do I even have to talk about? You know what I mean? And I used to want to talk to inner city kids about nutrition, because nutrition, health, and exercise is really important to me.
Yeah.
And now I feel like I'm stepping into a space, so I do feel confident about the words that I say. So thank you for giving me this platform.
Oh my gosh, truly my pleasure. Truly.
This is great.
Woo, the best. Okay, you guys, please share this episode. There are so many women who I like, again, this is going to sound cliche, but I mean this from my bones, that I think telling women's stories is so important because they so often hold the clues for our future selves.
Yes.
Someone is going to see your episode today and be like, she did that. I can do it. Or like, I'm going to steal this little piece because now I'm inspired. I didn't know what to do before, but now I get it. So please share this episode. It is all about women building each other up, ripping down societal shoulds, and being brave enough to write your own story.
Oh, I love it so much.
All right.
Good. There we go.
Let's go. All right. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Well, that's the end of this episode, but promise me, you won't stop here with whatever it is you're feeling or dreaming about. I hope you leave today feeling empowered to live life just as you see fit. If this podcast was helpful to you, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a review on whatever platform you're listening on. I genuinely just want to help women live the life they dream about. So if this type of content tracks with you, subscribe to this podcast or visit our website, writeyourownsstory.co, to download digital courses or to grab a journal and a mug to just dream in and dream with. It's your life, lady. Do you. And just remember, I'm rooting for you and you've totally got this.